All right. What is going on, people? So instead of playing the music, we're going to talk about the corporate papers and what they are. And during the live stream, for the first 10 people, you can get 50% off using the corporate papers promo code RESET. Let me make sure that I got that set up correctly. Let people come on in. Yeah, Glendon. All right. All right, we will look at that a little bit later. So let's see what's going on. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? All right, so let me go ahead and tell you about the corporate papers. I've gotten a lot of questions. I had a lot of people asking me, so we're going to do this before we get into the show. First of all, let's talk about the consults. Last time I did this, I had consults for people who spent, I believe, $4,500 once a month consult sessions. And that turned into an absolute nightmare because I was sending out message after message. People weren't paying attention. So that's gone. Now, once you join the corporate papers, I will get on the phone with you for $500 per hour. And this usually goes beyond an hour because the price of consults is going up to $2,500 August 1st. So that's one of the benefits for the corporate papers. I am actually, all right, stick with me. I got to create a new Facebook page because mine got hacked and I can't, I keep sending them the stuff and they won't open it up. So I got to create a new Facebook page, and then I'm going to create the corporate papers Facebook group where you can interact and you can talk amongst people, the people from the art of holding, the people from the corporate toolbox. You will all be invited to the group, Facebook group. So we're going to have corporate swag. And probably once or twice a week, we're going to have live training. And then we're going to have business reviews. Now, what is business review? Like whatever business you got, we're going to review your business. We're going to, it's like you may be up and it's like, okay, this is John's business. And we're going to go through it and talk about the good things, the bad things. So that's going to be new. Mentorship. And this is going to be key. You think I'm being transparent here on YouTube? This is nothing compared to what is going to come with, because essentially once I get Mac Daddy Autos up and running and get my first hire, I'm going to start another business and I'm going to take you guys through that journey of starting that business. So you will get an inside view from the LLC creation, from the corporate banking, from the business credit creation. You're going to get all that. You're going to get mentorship, inside view of my business, a lot of holding company game, We're going to go so deep with the holding company game. How to really build business credit. We're going to talk about management. We're going to talk about hiring. We're going to talk about mindset. So once again, the first 10 people who go, the link is below, and jump into the corporate papers. And once again, there's nothing there. Tomorrow, I'm going to have my assistant add everyone from the corporate toolbox, add this to your logins, because essentially I'm going to probably shut down Hustlers Kung Fu and the Art of Holding. I'm probably just going to shut them down and get rid of them. And my assistant, but before that happens, my assistant's going to bring everyone over to the B School for Hustlers, and essentially you're going to get all that training. So you'll get an email of a login and all that other stuff. And that give us a week or two to get all that done because there's a lot of people. And essentially the corporate papers is going to be the best thing I've done. I got many emails like, hey, where do I start up with, essentially people are looking for like the deal, the deal of the day. And essentially this is the deal. First 10 people can use the promo code reset at checkout and you can get into the corporate papers. And it's going to be live. It's going to be really, really live. So let's see what we got going on. What's up? What's up? Okay. What's going on? What's up? What's up? Wayman Brown, thanks for the $5 super chat. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the Great Reset. The Great Reset is on and popping. Now, I have lived in this neighborhood 12 years. I first moved into an apartment complex. And interesting, let's talk about this apartment complex because there's another YouTuber, Ryan Panea, and he just bought an apartment complex down here in Warner Robins, I believe. And this is what's funny because I'm going somewhere with this. There's a guy who's called Flip Anything USA, and he hit Ryan with some very important questions because Ryan says that this property is going to be 20 million. And I'm just like, I didn't see it. And I'm going to tell you why. When I was living in those apartment complexes, about, I think 800 units, they sold for 20 million. And these apartments were renting for about 1,000 to 1,400 at the time. Now, these same apartments are renting for like 1,500 to 2,500 now. And I was just like, and he hit him really with some really good questions. Boom, 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 boom. And Ryan did not answer any of his questions. Ryan gave him a glib answer. Like, if I answer your questions, this will promote more questions. Not really. And where I'm going with this is Ryan hangs out with Graham Stephan and Andre Jack, and he's trying to be a YouTuber and he's trying to be a mini Grant Cardone because he's trying to get people to invest in his capital fund, a la Grant Cardone, right? And where I'm going with this is how many folks are actually showing you what I'm showing you? Because a lot of folks, frankly, would be embarrassed because, we're about to approach $40,000 in repair cost, but the business is generating revenue to cover the repairs. So right now, I think there is a big shift in YouTube because more and more YouTubers are starting to call out these people. Graham Stephan is getting called out more and more and more often. There's several videos out there that's talking about you cannot believe anything that these personal finance YouTubers tell you, and we're moving in that direction. JT Pocket Watchers and CoffeeZilla and Ryan Cornelia, there's a movement where people are saying, tell us the truth, be honest with us, be open and transparent, stop the clickbait, stop the games, stop playing with us. So we're going to a different place. But once again, who's showing you what I'm showing you? The people who were there, I'm just going to make it where no one else can get in there. Good Lord, a dislike already? I haven't said anything. Miss Nix, thanks for a $5 super chat. Let's see. Like, I haven't added anything to Hustler's Kung Fu in like, I don't even know how many years, 3, 4 years. So we will see. And essentially, I can go in there and see if you're actually doing anything. And most folks are not doing anything with the content and the training. Pocket watching with JT, he cuts them up. He cuts them at the ankles. But like I said, I've been in Sandy Springs 12 years, and I saw we've had like 2 homeless people for the longest who just kind of stare at you. They never ask for money, and they're always on the move. There was this one guy down here by Chastain Park, and there was this one chick up here off Roswell Road who would spend the night at the bus stop. And that was it for the longest. Today, I was driving and I saw a brand new homeless person. And dude was chilling in the ditch outside of a multi-million-dollar home. I want you to think about this. Dude was chilling in the ditch on Lake Forest, because there was Mount Perrin and Lake Forest, right? And he was at the corner of Mount Perrin and Lake Forest chilling in the ditch. And I was in Buckhead, and I saw not one but 2 homeless people. And, you know, for all those folks, it's normally I go to Buckhead, I don't see homeless people normally. And I really don't go to Buckhead that much, but this is telling me that the Great Reset is on. The Great Reset is on and popping. The Great Reset is on. And what we're about to experience is the Great Reset is on and popping. You're going to see, because you see my video, the rich people of Atlanta are pissed off and want their Buckhead back. When more people, I guarantee you, there are going to be conversations about this homeless guy on Nextdoor tonight. I guarantee you. Over and under. That's funny. Sydney A., you want to get the corporate papers. That's where the holding company strategy is. JT be cutting them off. Well, essentially what you're seeing is part of the Great Reset, and just stick with me, crime is going to become untenable. And I want you to understand this. I know this is going to sound conspiracy theorist, but listen to me. Crime does not get out of pocket unless it is let to get out of pocket. There is a reason that there's high crime in the South Side, because that is allowed to persist on the South Side. It is allowed. Crime is allowed to run free. Crime is allowed to be crazy. And what they're going to do temporarily is let the crime spike. It's spiking in Buckhead. It's going to spike in Sandy Springs. I had to do a police report the other day, and the cop was telling me that it has been crazy. A lot of break-ins. They're stealing U-Hauls. They're stealing Hellcats. So crime is going to go through the roof. With homie, and you go to my community section, with homie sitting there chilling in the ditch. Chilling in the ditch. He was chilling in the ditch. So one of the things, and I remember this years and years ago, I had a friend who used to live in Midtown, and he was saying the homeless people used to piss on his property. But across the street was some white folks, and one day David went out there and he was like, "Why are you pissing on my property?" He said, "I gotta go." He said, "Why don't you piss over there?" He said, "Oh, they'll send me to jail." So right now, because of the lack of Atlanta police presence, people are being bold. They're being bold because I fully expect to see more homeless people in Sandy Springs. Mr. Nix, I mean, I got a picture of him because like homie was like, he was like laying down, just chilling and relaxed. And I was just sitting there like, he gonna be on Next Door tonight. He gonna be on Next Door tonight. So crime is about to get stupid. And once crime gets stupid, the people are going to demand that the politicians do something about it. They're already in Buckhead, up in arms. They're trying to get something done. And it's going to be people. Pretty much. He was trying to catch a nap, Ray. He was trying to catch a nap. So essentially, 12 years ago, like I said, we had 2 homeless people out here. We didn't have any more. They used to talk about them on Next Door. And what you're going to see there, I fully expect to see more homeless people out here. I fully expect to see more homeless people in Buckhead because they're traveling from downtown. Downtown Atlanta. If you go downtown Atlanta and you're going under look under the bypass, if you look up on the sides, you will see a bunch of tents. And there's a homeless encampment, like going to the former Braves stadium. And all up under the underpass, there's a bunch of homeless people. They're moving from downtown. They're moving to Buckhead. They're moving to Marietta. They're moving to Smyrna. They're traveling for nicer digs. They're traveling. So this tells me that the Great Reset is on and popping. Because first it's going to start with the homeless people. Then it's going to start with the crime. And then the people are going to be like, I want you to think, how would you feel? You just spent $3 million for a house and your gates open and you're rolling out your $3 million house, getting ready to turn onto the main way. And there's a homeless person camped outside your mansion. How you gonna feel? I guarantee you they're gonna be talking about dude on Next Door tonight. They're gonna be, because essentially this is gonna create more energy. This is gonna create more people being on point. This is gonna create more this is going to create the environment where they can start cracking down. Remember when Rudolph Giuliani was the mayor of New York and they had stop and frisk, and they literally cleaned up New York because the people were like, we're sick of the crime. We're tired of the crime. And that allowed the police to go reckless because essentially, I remember there was this article where the cops were busting heads and it's like, this is Giuliani time. Deacon's time is over. This is what the cops said. Private security is an opportunity. It ain't a new opportunity. I was talking to a client who's putting together an armored car here in Atlanta, an armored car. So the crime is going to get crazy. And here's something else too. I have met a number of Uber and Lyft drivers who actually say they're making good money. However, these are not the typical Uber and Lyft drivers. The one woman who said she said she was going to make 6 figures. She makes more money driving for Uber than she did at her former corporate job, where she took a package versus being laid off and getting nothing. So she got a package, she got a sum of money. Then she started driving for Uber and found out that she was making 3 times driving for Uber what she was making for her job. So in this reset is opportunity. In this great reset is opportunity for those who are willing to put in the work. Because like homie was just chilling in the grass. I'm like, I was driving down the road. I had to turn around and go back and get his picture because I was like shocked to see dude up in this neighborhood. Dude was like if you go down Mount Perrin, once you get deep, about maybe half a mile into Mount Perrin, you got like 3, 4, 5, $6 million mansions on both sides of the street. And dude was like right outside the corner, just chilling in the grass, just chilling. And I was like, man, the reset. And that's the first thing that came to my head. The reset is on and popping. The reset is on and popping. Because what you're going to see is crime is going to continue to get worse, and the people are going to demand that the politicians do something. And they're going to use this as an excuse to be reckless, to start locking up people. And also part of this is, and I'm going to say this because I knew she was doing it. When I lived in this apartment, my first apartment in Sandy Springs, I moved into, there was a property manager named Amanda. And Amanda, I know, was being very selective in who she would approve and who she would not approve. And I remember when she approved me and she says, "You've been checked out," her exact words, "we would be happy to have you." And when Amanda was the property manager there were doctors. There was a guy that had a Ferrari. There was a guy that had a Porsche. There was a lot of upscale people in the community. There was no riffraff. There was no gold tooth. There was nobody walking around with their pants sagging, because Amanda was the gatekeeper. And what you're going to see is many Amandas start popping up in these real estate developments. They're going to start like, look, I don't care about the Fair Housing Act. We're only going to let a certain type of person move in this building. We're not going to let this kind of person, we're not, and what they're going to do is start going to your social media, checking you out, and seeing if you're the type of person they want in their facility. Justin Walker, you got to get the whole thing. And let me go ahead and talk to Justin. Justin, the whole curriculum works together. You need the whole curriculum, like this whole thing, because I got a lot of people. It's like, I just need this. You need everything. You need the holding company game. You need the management game. You need the hiring game. You need the business credit game. You need the whole, because essentially, if you go ahead and put a holding company together, that's good. Your corporate structure will be good, right? But what about running your business? You need everything. You need everything. Essentially, because I'm about to tell y'all something else. Pretty much. I remember they don't like her. The cops don't like her, Jameson. They don't. Crime is going to continue to get rougher. This is just the beginning. When I was filing my police report, the cop was full of useful information. I mean, he says that people are stealing U-Hauls left and right. And he gave me some advice. He says, if you're thinking about putting Hellcats in your rental car fleet, you might want to think that. He said they're stealing them off the dealer's lots with no keys. Right now, because essentially when Keisha got after that cop and 250 cops in the city of Atlanta quit, and they were already down 750 cops when those 250 quit. So a city of Atlanta is down 1,000 police officers. 1,000 police officers. You ain't seen nothing. You're going to see crime go crazy. You're going to see a lot of policy. You're going to see a lot of implementation of new policy. Because essentially, once again, once the rich people get activated, this is when you're going to see it. Because right now, I mean, frankly, I'm going to put it to you bluntly. We got it good. We have it out here real good. I mean, I could go out, do stuff, not run into any homeless people, not running into any riffraff. That's about to change. That's about to change. We gonna have some rift raft all up in here, and this, I'll say this period's gonna be about 5 years, and you're gonna see massive change all over the place. Massive change. Pretty much. DL, what's the point of starting a business now? Car prices are high. DL, once again, you have Uber drivers making six figures. See, here's the thing. During the reset, you got a bunch of people, because I'm going to go really deep into this. Let's talk to DL for a minute. What's the point in starting the business? Right now, we're moving toward a socialist society. And what do I mean by that? Right now, I think we are just a hair's breadth away from some type of universal basic income, because all of these stimulus checks, stimulus packages, money for children, it's just a form of universal basic income. And that $600 on top of unemployment was a game changer, because a lot of people got used to that. You cannot give someone that kind of money for months and months, not years, but almost a year, and not expect that money not to change how they live. Because right now, this is one of the reasons that's 40% of the people are thinking about quitting their job, because they had time to be at home and they had money coming in and they didn't have to work. That changes a person. Grind different detailing. Hey, go to YouTube and check out all the detailing channels. You'll be blown away. I mean, that didn't happen. That wasn't here 2 years ago, man. That's how fast it changed. It wasn't here 2 years ago. From van life to the ditch. I say give them 5 years and they're going to get Buckhead cleaned up. Give them 5 years. Yeah, there's a ton of tents. Freedom Parkway. You're going through the city of Atlanta. Just look up. Every time you go under underpass, just look up and you'll see tents on both sides. It's been like that for years. Because I'm not Grant Cardone, man. Yep. Oh, like someone put in the comments, security is going to be a very hot and lucrative business for the next 10 years. Armed security, armored cars, because, all right, like I live in this neighborhood and I know how people act. These kids are innocent. You got a few who may do a drug or two here, but for the most part, they're innocent. They don't know about that life. And these people will, like, give you an example. I was talking to a friend. They literally moved from $1 million house to a $2 million house so their daughter can go to a better school district. That was the reason that they moved. People will move heaven and earth for their children. So once this starts to impact their children, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. Yep. I think it's coming. I think there, because some people say there will not be another stimulus check. Here's the thing with COVID. A lot of people are vaccinated, but a lot of people are faking the funk, because a lot of people are not vaccinated, but they've taken their mask off. And COVID has spiked in certain areas. So, I haven't looked at the unemployment numbers in a minute, but I would not be I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked if it does happen. Crime is going to be off the chain. Nokia Neville's, someone was telling me there was a sniper here in Atlanta shooting people randomly. You're going to see those type of crimes. It's going to be nuts. I think universal basic income is definitely around there. Kiddo 108, I lived in Johns Creek for 7 years, and we had one homeless black guy. He always had a haircut. He pushed his road. He was harmless. And that's the big thing. When these homeless people start becoming aggressive, that's when you're going to see the big, and I think it will. Because I remember years ago when I used to ride MARTA to work, there was this homeless woman that get on, and she's like, can I have a quarter for a piece of soap? She had this little rhythmic little thing she would say. And for the most part, she was harmless. She was just annoying. And one day, some dude just told her to be quiet, and she lost it. She flipped out on the dude. She spit on him. And he was like, he wasn't prepared for that reaction from her because, you know, for the most part, she was harmless until he activated her. He activated her. Man, stepping over the less fortunate. Let me just put it to you this way. They're going to get rid of the less fortunate. They're not going to step over the less fortunate. I mean, I live out here. I know these people. You living in a $3 million mansion and you think you're going to tolerate with homeless people pissing up in your front? That ain't going to fly, man. That ain't going to fly. It will happen temporarily, but they will clean that up. Yes, Uber is a gold mine right now. The pics on the community page. Which industries would you say have the most opportunities? Security, transportation, cleaning, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart are killing it right now. They're going crazy. Google only work for the developers of Times Square, not the residents of New York City. Who do you think the new Gestapo going to be working for? You think they're going to be working for the people? They're going to be working for the rich. That's who they're going to be working for. They're going to be working for the rich. Yep. What's up? The reset is, all right. Remember before COVID, I was doing all of these recession videos when no one was talking about it, because I correctly predicted that the economy was weak, and this is why COVID was so detrimental. Now, the Great Reset is you're going to have people who are at one social economic level, they're going to shift down. And a lot of people are going to be resetting. You got people who are homeowners, they're going to become renters. You got people who have 2 and 3 cars, they're going to have 1 car. You got people with 2 incomes, they're going to have 1 income. Everybody except for the folks who are entrepreneurs, for the folks in high tech, for the folks with skills, they're going to shift down because 70% of America only makes like $30,000 a year or less. That number is going to grow. The number is going to grow. Yep. Big wealth transfer. I mean, a massive, and see, this is how you have to, this is why you got to get into some kind of business. Even if you have a job, you need to have a business on the side, because if you have a business, you're going to be in the channel of the reset. You will be able to get some of this reset money. But if you just have like a regular job and you go to work, you just do your job, you come home, you're going to completely be part of the reset and you're not going to benefit from the reset. Thank you. Grand. You will own nothing and be happy. I saw the Uneducated Economist. He did a video on that, and people kind of flipped out. People kind of flipped out on him. Well, not the super rich. Let's go ahead and talk about how society is composed. We have the top 1%. Well, actually, the top 0.5%. They're not even a full percent. That's the super rich. And then what we have is the 9.9%. This is the buffer zone between the super rich and average folk. That 9.9%. The 9.9% is all over Sandy Springs. These are your doctors. These are your attorneys. These are your real estate agents. These are the people who live around here who have jobs, and they are the buffer zone between the uber rich and regular folk. So the 9.9%, they will be able, like, afford houses out here, live, send their kids to private school. So it won't be just the uber rich, because when you talk about the uber rich, we're talking about the billionaires, or we're talking about people with net worths of like 500 million. That there's not that many of them. I mean, I would say worldwide, there's only like 2,600 billionaires. And I would say of the uber rich, there might be 20,000 of them worldwide. And these would be people with fortunes because, you get to $50 million net worth. You may not be a billionaire, but you can live like one. You can live like one. $50 million net worth. Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, I got to fix up the LinkedIn page. The West End is going through gentrification. Last time I was in the West End, I saw white people walking around carefree. It was two white women just walking around, just chilling, doing their thing. And it was interesting. It was really, really interesting. It was like, wow, I didn't see this before. So I feel that there's a big push to clean up the West End and Riverdale. Like, let's go ahead and talk about Riverdale, Clayton County. What is that? Terra Boulevard. When I got here, that was like farmland. It was really quiet. Nothing ever went down. Now, how did Riverdale and Clayco, as they call it, go off the chain? Remember Hurricane Katrina. When Hurricane Katrina displaced all of those people, because I remember we're watching on the news, the people who could leave Louisiana and New Orleans left. The people who were forced to stay there could not leave. And these are the people that got moved to Atlanta, got moved to Houston. And this created the ghetto, or the wild, wild South Side. Because like Riverdale, Jonesboro, sleepy little town, nothing went down there. You have these people with these well-kept houses, well-kept manicured lawns, and they weren't rich. They just had pride and took care of their stuff. So I feel that you, Jay Will, are 100% correct that they're going to push more people to Riverdale and in Jonesboro. Interestingly enough, a lot of my renters are on that side of town. It's interesting you mentioned that. The Lou, Las Vegas, St. Louis, Dallas. Crime will get much worse. Steve Jameson, there's a lot of people like me who would get in the car rental business and have no idea what they're getting into. I can see that happening. The crime in Buckhead is literally off the chain right now, and corporate America is looking at Buckhead differently. They're like, we're going to let our senior management stay in the hotels in Buckhead, and we're going to move them to Dunwoody, because Dunwoody is not like Sandy Springs, but it is like Sandy Springs. There's a lot of old money in Dunwoody, and what you're seeing is the redevelopment of all of Atlanta, like Doraville. Doraville used to be the low rent district to the end of Dunwoody. Let's go to Zillow real quick. I guarantee you, because essentially, let's see, Doraville. See, one house is an apartment. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 957 square feet. It is 180,000. Doraville, 314. Shamley Tucker Road, 650. Doraville used to be dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. I had a friend in Doraville who bought a house for $50,000, paid cash for it. So Doraville, which used to be dirt cheap, is no longer dirt cheap. I mean, look at this. This stuff used to be 100K and a less than 100K. Here, $10 years ago, $60,000. That house would have been 60. This would have been like 50,000. This one for going for 170. 1-car garage, that would have been like 60. So essentially, what's the big push is people are being pushed out of Dunwoody and they're being pushed into Doraville, and the prices are going up, because like this kind of used to be like the ghetto. Doraville used to be the ghetto to Dunwoody. Look at these prices. This Doraville didn't have prices like this before. So as the Doraville flows into Dunwoody, you're going to see an expansion. Big expansion. What's up? What's up? Oh, crime is going to get really worse. Crime is going to get worse. Because essentially, one of the things that happened with, like, they never really defunded the police. That didn't happen. That was just a slogan. But a lot of police are like, if I do my job, I can be up on charges. So the police are kind of like, it ain't really that bad. People are getting away with literally everything. I mean, else even, who would want to be a cop? Think about it. That's a thankless job. Because you're going to see, like, it'll be the end. July ends, I think, Saturday. July ends Saturday, and we move into August on Sunday, right? Well, once the eviction moratoriums go away, once the foreclosure moratoriums go away, and then once they start repossessing cars, you're going to see a big shift in a lot of stuff. The Delta variant. You can make a lot of money doing Uber. My friend makes at least 1,200 a week. Yeah, it is crazy, man. Yep. I mean, COVID's gonna be with us. Yes, luxuries, the ones tasted become necessities. You know, it's kind of interesting because someone made a comment that resonated with me. They said they lived in a high rise and they're now in the suburbs, and said once you move into a high rise, you're gonna miss because essentially there's no noise around here. There's no yelling. There's no screaming. If my neighbors smoke weed, they sitting on their acre to 2 acres. I have no clue that they're smoking weed. I don't know. Yep. You're going to see some massive changes. You're going to see some crazy stuff that's going to go down. You're going to see the rest of the year is going to be wild because one of the things I want you to think, like my new car rental business, right? I got a bunch of people lined up to rent cars. I want you to think of like, what's wrong with that picture? I mean, it's a business that I'm going to make money from many, many years because what's going to happen is a lot of people are not in a position to get cars, but they're in a position to drive. Let's go ahead and talk about Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, which ain't that big. Let's talk about from the Atlanta Library to 5 Points MARTA Station in Georgia State. Let's call that the Triangle. That area is so rough. There's so many homeless people. And when I got here to Atlanta, there were no homeless people down there. There were none. Now, this is the best live stream I've had in months. Cybersecurity. You're going to see massive. I like deformant. I think security, anyone that wants to start a security agency, get into armed security, that's going to be a boom business. I might actually start a security company, because like I said, one of the things I'm going to do, and if you're just joining us, the first 10 people, because I already saw like 6 notifications, the first 10 people that join the corporate papers get a 50% off discount during this live stream. Just go below, jump in there and get that. And then that's what I'll be doing. Man, it is crazy. Private security is going to be very huge. It's going to be huge, 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 huge. Mask mandates are back. Wow, I didn't know that. All right, do your thing, man. Do your thing. Kevin, crazy thing is wealthy citizens are moving back to the city in very expensive housing, and a lot of low income households are moving to the suburb. This has been going on for about 10 years. If you work in the city, like people want to be close to where they work. This is why, like, Sandy Spring is such a highly desirable area because it's like living in the suburbs, but you're close to the city. And I feel that what's going to happen is they're going to force them out by raising the rents. I mean, unless you're making some serious money, you're not going to be able to live in Buckhead. You're not going to be able to live in Midtown. You're not even going to be living in downtown Atlanta. I think they're going to, next 5 years, they're going to massively clean up all of these areas, implement new public policy. The police are going to be very unforgiving. I remember when I used to be afraid of the police. This was when I was in Tucker. We had a shop in Tucker, and I used to consistently just get pulled over for BS. And I really, really didn't like the police. And then I moved to Sandy Springs, and I got some money. And the police, I don't have cop cars just getting behind me running my tag. Out here, the police know that you could pull someone over who can be someone powerful, who can impact your career. So they typically don't mess with people. If you're in a nice car, City of Sandy Springs police officer typically will not mess with you. They just won't mess with you. And, especially if you ain't really doing nothing, they're not going to mess with you. But when I was in DeKalb, I used to get pulled over doing the speed limit. I used to have cops pull behind me, run my tag, all this other stuff. It was crazy. It was crazy. Oh, a lot of folks have not got vaccinated. A bunch of Vietnamese got arrested for fraud. It's been crazy. They want money, man. Yes, they do. What's up? Well, the homeless people, for the most part, most of them are homeless, but some of them can be very aggressive. Some of them can come after you. Some of them, it's just a trip. Lay Paris, you could pretty much, this is one of the reasons I got vaccinated, because I like a Georgia shut down. We never really shut down. And I knew that, I'd be coming in contact with all these people, going to buy these cars and stuff. That's just one of the reasons I got vaccinated. Yeah, pocket was funny. Riff raff ain't gonna happen. The great reset is on. Ben the bartender, once again, let's talk about the pandemic and how many people were sitting at home, just chilling, enjoying life. There's a large segment of America that doesn't want to work. I'm going to say 20%, 25% of America. I don't care if there's the restaurants hired. I don't care if you can make six figures drive. They're not interested in working because they got used to being at home and getting money. They got accustomed to it. Luxuries once tasted become necessities, and now they have that thirst in their mouth. It's going to be hard to get out. Yeah, I was talking about, because this is one of the reasons that COVID was so devastating, because the economy was weak. Trump was like, hey, this is a great economy, and all this other stuff. And essentially, we have restaurants, we have businesses that shut down during COVID that ain't opening back no more. But this is something else, because I'm going to do some videos on this. There's massive new development. There's a lot of money in the system. There's built, like in Sandy Springs, they're spending billions on all this new infrastructure development. This is something else. I was talking to the cops, and all the cops, they love the fact that the Sandy Springs spend money on technology. The latest police technology, we have it all. Because essentially, this is one of the reasons. Like when I was doing my police report, the guy was able to find out where my car was on July 24th due to this technology. And it's like it seems like he hasn't been driving it. So essentially, with this new technology, they could do some amazing things. All right, the average house. All right, let's talk about this. There's household income, and there's single person income. They give you that quote of the median household income of being like 50 something, but the average single person house income is like 30 something. And if you take two people compose a household, that's how they get their 52 to $60,000 average household income. But average single person income is $30,000. Man, get vaccinated and get out there in the game, man. Make you some money. Make you some money. Let's see. Pretty much. Yes, there's money out there, man, if you want it. Well, we're going to really be talking about credit because there is a place for going out and getting net 30s and building your business credit because essentially you can get net 30s and within 6 months to 8 months, you can buy a vehicle with your business credit. It has to be a Ford truck, but you can do that. Hey, do it, man. I don't know about that. Well, Nokia Neville's, here's the thing. Right now, um, online businesses have been booming. Just depends on where you want to go because I would not be scared. Uber Black Card, thinking about it. 25 states, like right now, they're trying to end the additional money for unemployment, and there are lawsuits trying to force the states to keep paying this money. That's how bad folks got addicted to it. Appreciate that. Uh, I feel that every major city in the U.S. is going to go through this. Every major city. So it ain't in Dallas yet, but it's coming. Indecent and destructive culture has contaminated all ethnic groups. Grandmothers used to be sweet women that bake cookies. Now they all tatted up, rolling blunts, competing for man. Sad but true. Sad but true. I actually saw a lady who appeared to be in her 60s, maybe 70s, and she had two sleeves. This is a black woman. Sleeve of tattoos. Man, I figured New York would be off the chain. It's affordable right now. Oh, prices are shooting up everywhere. I just showed you what happened in Doraville. 10 years ago, you could have bought a house, several houses in Doraville for $50,000, $60,000. The prices have tripled and quadrupled. Well, there's a lot of corporate money buying homes right now too. Hey, by Detroit movement. Well, Doraville is really interesting, but they're changing Doraville. Like Doraville, there used to be a GM plant there, and the GM plant they sold it, and they're going to do all kinds of development. So essentially, Doraville was where the Mexicans lived. Doraville and Buford Highway, and still to some degree, there's a lot of Mexicans on Buford Highway, right? But I see the big shift because what they're going to do in the next 5 years is push all low income out of the city. That's what I suspect because I'm going to do an expose because there's an apartment complex that went up and it was low income housing. They tore it down and built luxury apartments, and I think that you're going to see a lot of that. What's up? Really? Pretty much. Pretty much. Those, I mean, they look good to y'all, but I'm telling you what they were a few years ago. This Uber driver told me she picked up a girl who was smoking weed, and the girl went off on her and said she started videotaping her for her 100,000 followers. I was like, that's crazy. There might be. I wouldn't be shocked if there's another stimulus. I wouldn't be. Yeah, yeah. My neighbors are doing drugs. I have no clue because they can do it in the privacy of their own home. Uber Freight's pretty big. It's really big. Man, it's off the chain out there in Stone Mountain and Memorial Drive. I would not be shocked, James, if that happens. I wouldn't be shocked. You know, like I said, no, I don't clean the cars. I got a service that does that. Nah, you really didn't see homeless people here in ATL. Not like it is now. And like I said, homie that was chilling in the ditch, he is the beginning because he's gonna come and he's it's I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's like roaches. If you see one roach, you know there's a lot more. And he was the first roach I saw, and it's going to be getting worse. Hey man, just do it. It's happening right now. It's happening right now. Yeah, security is going to be big. Food prices are already rising. I think foreclosures are going to make a comeback. Yep. Yeah, food prices already rose. Here's the thing. Things you don't need are cheap, and the things you do need, food, gas, it's almost $5 a gallon for premium gas. How do I know? Most of my cars take premium. Like um, a car I bought recently, it was on Bone E. It took $98 to fill that sucker up on premium. Yep. I mean, I don't really worry. There was one in my life when the cop got behind me, my blood would freeze. Now, I really don't think about it, but they don't really get behind me anymore. Food, gas, all that's crazy. Food Fresh is online. No, Buckhead properties will go up. They're not going to go down. They're going to clean Buckhead up. There's too much money out there. They're not going to let what's going on in Buckhead keep going on. Because essentially Buckhead got kind of wild, and they shut all the clubs down, and they built new development. And I guarantee you, give them about 5 years, they're going to clean Buckhead up. Pretty much, you know. Good Lord, Ganja, that's crazy. Yeah, premium gas is almost like $5 a gallon. I mean, if you look at the things that you really need, the prices have gone through the roof. Dang, Wayman, that's cold. Yep, 450 a gallon. I feel great, Ralph. You know, that's funny. You there Uber now? Good Lord. All right, so I'm getting ready to shut this down, but I think let's see, we got one super chat because it was live. The invest doc seems like you're too rich already to be dealing with the large hassle factor of the car rental business. Understand not like in debt, but single family rentals are pretty good passive income. See, y'all got to understand me. Essentially, once I get, I've been doing this 3 months, and I kind of get these comments like this over and over and over again. Y'all are not used to anyone showing you how a real business is built, and it's just shocking you because essentially, I see more money from the car business than real estate, like a lot more. I'll give you an example. A car that I'm getting rid of that I only had 3 months has already made $4,000. The car cost me $8,000. So once I get my programs together, I'm going to be able to buy a car for $10,000 It's going to make that money in a matter of months, not years or decades, but months, and then become a cash cow. And I'm going to repeat that process over and over again. I'm not too rich to make more money. Don't get it twisted. But thanks for the $10 super chat. Omega Curry, thank you for the $15 super chat. All right, so I'm getting ready to shut this puppy down. Once again, I'm going to leave this for about 2 hours. The first 10 people who want to get into the corporate papers, and once again, that's at the beginning of the video. If you count it, I go through everything that's going to include. And next week, we start moving people around and shutting stuff down. But go ahead, use promo code RESET at checkout. You can get 50% off, and then this will go away until the next live stream, which probably will be a week or so from now. So once again, thank y'all. I enjoyed it. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate you.